Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tara Tarot and I will be doing a reading from June 15th to June 30th. This reading is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And following this month's reading, we will be doing readings monthly, so July 1st to August 1st, but I wanted to finish out the month of June since I had ended on mid-June for the last round of readings. Okay, so as I had last time, I made sure to shuffle the cards beforehand so that we could jump right into the reading, and we didn't need, to wait for any of the shuffling like we had previously. Alright, so let's get started. So the first card I had asked was a theme for you guys. What is the theme for the next 2 weeks? What are some obstacles that are going to come up? What are some things that we can take note of, right? So the first card that came out was the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is number 10, right? So 10 is about the end of a cycle. And the Wheel of Fortune is about cycles, about things that are coming up in your life, about things that you haven't fully gotten over. So I use this example a lot. So let's say that, for instance, you're somebody who really, really doesn't like conflict, right? So you avoid it at all costs. But the thing is like by avoiding this conflict, you're not really able to get a clear sense of what you define as being stable. So, and what I mean by that is like, instead of dealing with a conflict, you completely avoid it, right? So then things just get worse, obviously. By avoiding them, they get worse always. So you avoid it, and now it keeps blowing up in your face. But you keep trying to avoid it. But more issues of conflict will come up for you then. In this case, to be like, hey, now we're going to learn how to deal with it. How are you going to deal with this time? That's going to be different. That's going to break the chain. Because otherwise I'm going to keep coming around. And we don't want to deal with the same lessons over and over again, right? If you've ever had like a relationship where you went back and forth with, is it very fun to be stuck in this cycle? No. But this is an emphasis on a cycle that's occurring again for you guys. Now, I will only say this because in the Capricorn reading, an Aries came up. So this could be a cycle dealing with a Capricorn. Doesn't necessarily have to be that at all. I'm just saying it because it came up in another reading. So you might want to cross-watch if there's anything having to do with the Capricorn, but if not, then we ignore that. But there is an emphasis around a cycle that you need to break, something that needs to change, something that constantly comes up that really doesn't help your greatest good because you haven't learned the lesson fully. Otherwise, it wouldn't be coming up any longer. So, the next card I asked was, what was something unexpected that's going to come up for you guys? The card that came out here is the Seven of Cups. So, the Seven of Cups is about choices, right? About wanting to make decisions, about being overwhelmed by the decisions, kind of being unable to like choose fully where they want to go. If you see here, there's like two people and one's pointing towards this land that's like up in the sky. And they have all of these cups here, all of these choices. There's even lands here. There's places that are about, but they're just overwhelmed by the possibilities. And there's something that's out of reach that they're kind of searching. So I do feel like for you guys that it might be that there's a lot of things coming up for you and a lot of opportunities and a lot of choices. And it could even be a lot of choices in love. Like it could even be that, maybe for a while you were like avoiding people and were avoiding relationships. And now all of a sudden you're getting like so many prospects coming towards you and you're like overwhelmed by it. You don't know what choice to make. And Aries being the sign, associated with sex, associated with like, masculine active energy, you might feel a little bit, I don't want to say unbalanced because I don't feel like that. I feel like you might just feel like overwhelmed by all of the possibilities. And it might be a surprise to you because I feel like you didn't feel like you had so many opportunities or you had so many things that were coming up for you that were like, hey, go in this direction. Now, the next card I asked, and I will, don't worry, I will come back to this. There's going to be more information as we come through. But the next card I asked was, how can you stay grounded and balanced, right? So the card that I got for that was the Eight of Cups. So I do feel like you're going to have to stay grounded and balanced by moving on from something. There's going to be something, maybe one of these choices, and I'm going to say that because it's cups. So I do feel like one of these people that's coming up, that's cycling your life again, that is a big emphasis on it, you're going to need to move on from. Because they keep coming up and you're not breaking the cycle because you feel something for it, but you just feel like you want to move on. You want to search for something different. You want to search for something that gives you more meaning, that makes you feel more secure, more at ease, more yourself, right? And I do feel like you're going to feel like you're able to get grounded by actually, diving deep within this emotion and by rationalizing it and saying, hey, this is what I feel and this is what it is in real life. And now how can I balance that? How can I move on from the things that aren't helping me, that aren't serving me, that aren't going to progress my life any further? How can I get rid of the people that keep me down? Or the situations that keep me down? How can I get rid of that? And I think that you're going to stay grounded because you're going to feel a sense of like not wanting to put up with it anymore. You really aren't going to want to deal with all of this nonsense. You're not going to want to deal with all of the emotions that are coming up because they're emotions that you've dealt with for a long time. And though you feel as strongly as you have in the beginning with them, you also might feel a little like you're getting a lot of illusions. Like you're not getting, because with the 7 of Cups there and the 8 of Cups, you might be getting a lot of illusions from other people, a lot of ideas and things that aren't really there. Yeah. I feel like you have to focus on your imagination and what you want to create. And we'll get to this more later, but there is a lot of emphasis this month or the last 2 weeks around law of attraction and what you're actually manifesting into your life. So the next card I asked was, what were some important emotions that were going to come up for you? And I feel like you're going to feel, I think you're going to feel, because the 3 of Cups, I would normally say is, celebration, hanging out with friends, blah, blah, blah. As this being an important emotion, I feel like you feel a lot of emotions towards 2 people. I feel like there's kind of a triangle that not everyone might know that they're in. There's 2 people that might not be aware that they're in this triangle with you, right? But I do feel like you're feeling a lot of strong emotions about 2 people in particular. You might find them really creative, really emotional. They might give you some kind of fulfilling, they might be companions. They give you the friendship you need, but you also feel a love from them. But there is still an imbalance. 3 is not a balanced number, right? So I do feel like an important emotion is that you're going to feel kind of stuck or torn between 2 people. You're going to feel like you get everything you need from these 2 people, but you're going to need to move on from something. And maybe it's that you want to move on from one of these people is, maybe they don't give you everything you need, or maybe they aren't really fulfilling a part of your life, though that you feel a connection with them. You feel very connected and very emotional with this person, but you might not be getting everything you need from them. Now, I asked what will inspire you, and the card that came out for that was the 6 of Wands. So 6 of Wands is also representative of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy, which you are Aries. So I do feel like you will feel inspired because you will feel like you are at a place of victory. Like people are giving you the public recognition for the things that you've done, the things in your life that you've been working towards, things that you've been quiet about. If you've been spending a lot of time by yourself so that you can get your life in order, you're going to start to get that recognition and start to get things falling into place in your life. And I think that that happening, this public recognition, all of these positive victories that are occurring are what is actually attracting these people back into your life. Now, July 7th, Mercury is going retrograde. So people from your past are going to come back. And that's why I do feel like this is a cycle. Because I feel like now you're at a place where things are balanced or things are going well, especially in your your, do I want to say financial life. I feel like if it's a career, if you're a career person, or if you're in school, then it's the things like that are kind of, you're getting the public recognition for. And I think all of these things that are making you feel balanced and whole and good are really attracting other people. But you might feel disillusioned, and you might feel overwhelmed by all of these things that are coming up for you, and it might make it hard for you to make a decision and to recognize that this is a cycle that's occurring again, because it might look a little different, but it's going to feel the same. And I feel like you just want to move on from feeling so negative, because there are positive things in your life. So you don't want to feel sad. You want to party. You want to be able to celebrate your victories. And the next card I had asked was how your spirit guides are going to communicate to you in the next 2 weeks. And the card that came out was the Five of Pentacles. So this is why I said earlier to really pay attention to law of attraction, right? So the Five of Pentacles is about loss. It's about like worry. So for this, I feel, I'll give an example. Five of Pentacles, say you're really scared about the security of your job. You're really scared about losing your job, because if you lose your job, then you're unable to pay for bills, right? But now you're constantly thinking about it. And now you're actually putting so much energy towards it that you start making mistakes at work. And eventually you lose your job because you've actually attracted that into your life. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen to you. I'm just giving an example of the card. So with this card being how your spirit guides will communicate to you, I believe that they're going to start showing you that your thoughts have a lot more meaning to them and a lot more like depth to them than you even realize. You're going to start recognize that if you think of something, it's going to occur, good and bad. And I think that if you think badly, you're going to see a lot of the negativity. If you start getting out of this, fear, you'll recognize that there are some beautiful things in front of you. You're just stuck in this negative, conflicting energy. And you're in a lost state of mind. You're in a lack state of mind. You don't think that you have everything together. But you're getting this recognition because you do. So your spirit guides are going to show you that, hey, you want to think negatively? We're going to give you negative. You want to think positively? We're going to give you positive. You want the solutions? Think about how you want to gain clarity. Think about how you want to attract clarity, and you will receive that. And then you will be able to receive clarity between this stuck energy. Like right now, you're feeling a little like positive things are occurring, but you feel a little lost, like foggy in the brain. You're not really able to make clear decisions. You're not really sure of where your emotions are. You just know that you want to move on from something that's not helping you, but you don't even know what it is that's really hurting you. But if you keep thinking in like, this is going to hurt me, this is going to hurt me, this is going to hurt me, it will. They're going to show you that your thoughts hold a lot of weight. So, if you think positively, you will attract positivity. Just remember that. Your spirit guides will show you that. And they will show you this in a lot of practical matters, which means also things having to do with time, with sometimes relationships, but like time, finances, things that are in your practical life. So just make sure to stay on the positive and recognize when your brain is trying to default to negative. The next card I asked was how you can best support yourself this week. And the card that came out for that is the Hermit. So the Hermit is about isolation, right? Going into isolation so that you could really listen to what it is that you need. So I think how you can best support yourself for the next 2 weeks is by, even though you're getting all this public recognition and you might have these celebrations and parties, make sure to have enough time for yourself. Make sure to dive deep within yourself, get time out in nature, spend time alone, spend time in isolation. Recognize that you might feel disconnected, but spirit's still there. These birds represent spirit, right? And they're below the surface. You can't really see them, but they're there. They're following you. They're just making sure that you see things for yourself. If you see like right in front, right, there's like this, it looks like a spark or a sun ray, right? So with this, I think it's like those quick realizations of like, oh my. And you're only going to get those realizations and recognize like what it is that you can do to support yourself and to get yourself out of this cycle by being alone, by spending time with your thoughts. And I think that there's going to be conflicts. There's going to be conflicts with other people, and you're going to feel defensive. And the reason I say that is because the bottom of the deck is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands speaks about conflict and about having to, defend yourself and really like a lot of, it's chaotic energy, right? So I do feel like there's a lot of chaos it might feel like there's a lot of chaos because there's a lot of things occurring and because you can't really rationalize everything and compartmentalize everything that you want to. But if you spend some time in isolation, you'll recognize the decisions that you need to make, especially when it has to deal with relationships. Dealing with relationships, I think that you'll receive a lot of clarity by being by yourself, but you're going to feel a lot of inner conflict, probably because there's going to be someone you're going to need to move on from. Someone that you know that you've been holding on to for far too long. And it's a cycle that keeps coming up that really might not be for your best. But a lot of positive things are going to happen. And if things start going well, and when they start going well because you think positively, you're going to receive public recognition. But when you start thinking negatively, you will receive negative recurrences. So if you want to make sure that that doesn't happen, stay in a positive mindset. Just recognize that you are the first of the zodiac, right? So your thoughts, like, this is why you get an idea, you get a spark, you go after it, right? Now, if you stop that and you just kind of don't go after what you want, or you don't think about the positive things that could occur for it, you're just going to attract negativity. So we don't want that to happen. So just make sure to get the time alone that you need. Make sure that if you're dealing with two people, if you're dealing with two people here, I do believe that one of them you've been in a cycle with, on and off, and you might need to move on from that person. But you are going to feel a little disillusioned by all of the choices and all of the things, because I think they've been they're someone that you've wanted for a while. But it's still not something that you maybe should do. Or there's still things that you need to heal from, that you need to move on from, because right now it's going to cause a lot of conflict. And that inner conflict is going to be the premise of this next 2 weeks. But I do believe that you guys are extremely strong, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to work through this energy. So, that being said, I will see you guys for your July reading. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a wonderful 2 weeks. Alright guys, bye. Thank you.